What's going on, FA Nation? Jon Impemba here with James Grande. Welcome into the Fantasy Alarm NBA DFS podcast and live stream Friday. 8 games here, James. End of the work week for you and I here. Final podcast here of the week. 8 games on tap. Decent slate we have going on here. We got a couple of teams on back-to-backs. Most notably Charlotte. Here on a back-to-back. I think they might... Pacers, right? Pacers on a back-to-back.
Yep.
Charlotte's on a back-to-back. Maybe it. I think just the two
Yep, that's it.
teams on a back-to-back here. A lot of the top plays were on the Thursday slate. So, top price guy, Joel Embiid here, questionable against San Antonio. Jason Tatum's at 11K. Dame Lillard at 10.6. Sabonis 10.1. And that is it for top price guys here. We consider top price being over 10K. Guys over 10K on this slate here. So maybe some more fair and balanced builds depending on kind of value we find opening up here. But for 8 games, it's a pretty big slate to not really have to worry about a Luka, a Jokic, a Giannis. Guys that, most nights are giving you 70 plus fantasy points that you have to worry about. This is going to be an interesting slate build for sure.
Yeah, and we have a shit ton of news. Let's just, get out front of that. I mean, there's a lot of players that have already been ruled out.
De'Aaron Fox.
Most notably De'Aaron Fox, Jalen Green, Kevin Porter once again. There's Yusuf Nurkic was ruled out. We know OG's still out. Then there's a lot of guys that could cause kind of a ripple effect that are questionable. We've talked about a couple slates in a row. Embiid, one of these nights he's sitting. San Antonio has 4 guys already ruled out. Sohan, Langford, Vassell already ruled out. If JoJo needs a day, an extra day, this feels like a spot,
game, right? Yeah.
We have Gobert, who has been questionable every slate and has been playing through it, but then just randomly sits the last game, right? And that's, I think, what we kind of mentioned. We were talking about last time with Embiid. These guys just aren't going to be questionable, and just keep playing.
Yeah, I'm checking to see if there's a back-to-back for Philly here on Saturday. 76ers not on a back-to-back, so...
Interesting.
Nothing to worry about potentially there for Saturday.
Right. But, Gobert questionable again. Jeremy Grant questionable again. Trey Jones left that game for the San Antonio Spurs last time out. He's doubtful. Jabari Smith left last game. He's questionable. There is a lot of potential moving parts, and obviously that doesn't even include the random scratches that we're going to get. Does Tyrese Halliburton?
Quite a few teams on the front end of back-to-backs here.
Interesting.
As well. Phoenix is on the front end of a back-to-back. Detroit is on the front end of a back-to-back. We have Portland on the front end of a back-to-back. Rockets are on the front end of the back-to-back here. And Atlanta on the front end of the
that's a lot. That's a lot of back-to-backs coming this weekend. And we don't know, Halliburton might not play on a second leg of a back-to-back, right? Rick Carlisle's done crazy things all the time.
Yeah.
And who was the other team on a back-to-back?
Charlotte.
I think they typically play their guys, but will Gordon Hayward play a back-to-back, right? There's a lot of question marks. Vegas, right off the bat, Charlotte, Detroit, 241 game total. Probably the lowest owned 241 you'll ever get because it's a 7 p.m. game and people hate having exposure in early games. So maybe some leverage.
3 7 p.m. games, though.
There are 3 7 p.m. games. That's true.
You also got Halliburton versus Sacramento.
And Sabonis, conversely, on the other side.
Yeah, the Pacers. Yeah.
No spread or total in that game. I see 240. FanDuel has 242.5. So, one up that Charlotte-Detroit game. And then Atlanta-Utah, 240.5. So we have 3 games with 240s. Portland-Washington, 237.5. Every game over 226. Yeah. No spread other than the Philly spread.
And you mentioned Portland without Nurkic, but Jeremy Grant also questionable in that game as well for them.
Yep.
Marcus Smart still ruled out for Boston. OG still ruled out for Toronto.
A lot of news.
Trey Jones is questionable. Jabari Smith is questionable. Sohan, as you mentioned, is out already. So, yeah, this is going to be a pretty wild slate. And you mentioned the back-to-back for Indy. If not, moves guys like Duarte and all those other guys back into the mix, Nembhard and McConnell on that group. So, all right, let's get into it. Like we said here, we got Dame Lillard at point guard, 10-6. You got LaMelo Ball coming off that back-to-back, but in a good spot here against Detroit at 97. And then we got James Harden at $9,600, maybe no Joel Embiid. Trae Young's at 94, and Halliburton is at 92. That's your top 5 guards, point guards on the slate price-wise.
So I'm okay getting to Lillard. He's been a superhero. He's going to have to continue to be a superhero.
With no Grant and no Nurkic. I mean,
and not to mention, I know Josh Hart's not on the injury report, but how healthy is he as well? Like, he's been banged up every game. He went 0 for 4. He did literally nothing the other night. Like, he might not even be healthy. They just need Lillard to do everything. LaMelo in a great spot. Kind of shit the bed on Thursday, willing to go back to the well. What's your thoughts on like All-Star Game snub narratives?
I mean, it used to work for Lillard. I don't know.
Harden not getting an All-Star bid. 21, 11, and 6, while also averaging a steal per game. Sure. I mean, listen,
if there's no Embiid, he's probably chalk of the slate against San Antonio.
I know. And if Embiid plays, like, and if San Antonio can just somehow keep this like close,
it seems unlikely given they're missing half their lineup.
I know. I'm just thinking like Harden plays 35 minutes like every night anyway. I like Harden in tournaments. Love the Utah spot if you want to get to Trae.
My problem with Trae is that it's points and it's assists and usually nothing
else. It's we've been talking about this with like Sabonis being priced up, right? Yeah. Where like he has to get you a triple double or 30 and 10 like we saw, and it's Trae all over again. Like the 2 games, and you're right, 100%. So like you can get there because it's a great spot, and I'm obviously in on Halliburton if he plays. It'll be interesting to see how they approach.
What did he do tonight?
Back-to-back. He had a monster.
Monster night? Okay.
Yeah, he played, so there was no limitations at all. He played 36 minutes. He had 26, 12, 2, and 2 steals. Hit 4 threes.
Good.
So, yeah, he went off.
Good numbers there. So, 9,200, I agree. If he's in, we're in for sure, especially in that matchup. Next tier down, Fred VanVleet against Houston. Obviously, the worry in this one is, I mean, Houston has an interesting front court at least. You know, Tari Eason, KJ Martin, and Alperen Sengun. Eric Gordon out there, but like this doesn't feel like a matchup that Houston would do too well in. But my guy Fred VanVleet,
he's the chalk.
73 fantasy.
He's the chalk. He's the chalk. He's the chalk here. No question. He's the chalk. Good chalk. Sorry. Sorry.
Just. I mean, listen, we talked about him. You know, we said when he's going like this, he's like hard to.
Yeah. How was he undrafted? Does anyone have an answer to that question? How does this guy go undrafted?
How does his price point not move?
That's true. That's also good.
He's been 8 or 8,100 now for 6 slates. And he's been going for 40, mid, 50 on all of them.
And they had a full day to adjust a 73 fantasy point triple-double.
He played 41 minutes against Portland in a game they won by 18. So, like...
Yeah, I mean, dude, I told you, they do not play guards. They do not play back. They actually played Delano Banton some minutes last game.
Yeah.
But that was like the first time we've seen a guard play for Toronto maybe since the calendar turned to 2023.
He played 39 minutes against Phoenix in a game he fouled out.
He
would have been playing more.
Toronto is going to probably be one of the more popular teams on this whole slate, like just top to bottom.
Especially the guard. I mean, Deshaun Nix versus Fred VanVleet, like that's what we're looking at. Like, yes. Good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck there. CB3 against Boston. You can do it. Not a good game, obviously, for him against Atlanta.
No.
I mean, tough spot against Boston. I mean, dude, Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum hit 15 threes the other day. So like,
what are you gonna do?
What do you do about that? Like, there's nothing you.
It's as us gamers would say, GG go next, right?
Yeah. What do you? They had 78 points at halftime. What are you supposed to do with that? What are you supposed to do with that? So he's at 82. T Rose, yeah, I'm fine again getting to him. Wasn't his best performance against Milwaukee, but he still came through with 20 actual and 35 fantasy points. So,
yep.
I'm good with it. Mid-tier guys here. Simon's probably in a big spot if there's no Grant and all them to take those shots, right? So,
yep.
6,500.
D'Lo too.
Yeah,
D'Lo's been just 23 shots last game. You love to see that.
Yeah, I played him against Sacramento. 40 minutes. I played 40 minutes, went 4 of 16. So, screw me, I guess. Again, we like Brogdon, but they didn't need him. So, that can happen with Boston. So, I like Jaden Ivey at 62. I'm good with that. I'm not going to worry about the minutes here. Again, fouled out of that game against Dallas in 21 minutes, but as long as he is good, should be good here. There is something weird, right? So, the last back-to-back they had, he played just 24 minutes in the front end. And I feel like
they've done it before.
They did it before, right?
They did it before, yep. It was 12:30, 12:31.
Right, 12:30. But he played 29 minutes, only 20 in the second of a back-to-back.
Right.
But they do get weird with their rotations on.
Yeah, they do. We really need to start focusing on these back-to-backs and just being like, all right, these teams are going to screw us if we roster.
Yeah. I'm trying to see like if there was even like a more recent example of that. 11:22, he played 26 minutes, and then 23, he played 32. But there are other back-to-backs where he played 11-11, he played just 25, 11-12, he played 35. So there's like inconsistent trends on back-to-backs. 29 minutes on 10-21, 35 minutes on 10-22. So like, some inconsistent trends of Detroit, whether the front end or the back end of back-to-backs doing something funky with their rotation. So
you know what isn't inconsistent, John? Mike Conley.
Yeah. Dude,
what the heck is going on?
His PRAs lately have been pretty attackable. They've been setting it at like 20.5. He missed obviously against Dallas. He had exactly 20. But over obviously against Toronto, over against Portland the game before that, over against Brooklyn a few games prior to that. So, I imagine probably boosted a little bit here, but I think Conley's okay. The price point coming up on
eight straight games of 28 or more fantasy
this
points.
Is I guess my worry is like
30.
We just saw Chris Paul struggle against Atlanta.
But different matchup for
sure.
Complete different matchup.
Yep, that's fine. What do you think about Markelle? 57.
I can't get Orlando right.
Okay.
I hate playing Orlando.
I just like the minutes that are there for him, but
the minutes are great.
Definitely,
I hate playing Orlando. I actually have a difference of opinions on our Orlando point guard on this slate.
Sure.
So.
Josh Richardson, no injury designation as of now. He's got to be pretty up there, right?
Yeah, he'll be really popular.
Under 5K.
Yeah, he'll be really, really popular. We saw 29 minutes last game, shot lights out, and there's potentially, there's already no Sohan. There's likely no Trey Jones, so he's going to play big minutes.
Yep. Jalen Suggs has 26 minutes in 2 of the last 3.
There's my Magic guard that I was going to mention. That's the other Magic guard that's the one I'd rather play.
Okay.
I'd rather play Jalen Suggs. I actually think he's going to be kind of popular, and I don't think he can replicate 5 steals, but he's a kind of a high usage player.
Yeah.
And if he's going to get rotational minutes, he's a good fantasy point per minute guy.
Yeah.
3,600 is a stupid price for a guy who could play a bunch of minutes. we were struggling for value yesterday. Like we could just play Malachi Branham too, who played 32 minutes, probably starts here, and has
What do we make of Gary Payton playing 29 minutes against Memphis?
that's them losing everyone.
Right?
Yeah, that's them having
$3,000 min price.
Yeah, there are four. What? There are four guards.
It's the most minutes he's played all year. He hadn't really played more than 17 in a game, and then all of a sudden 29.
Yep. There are four guards under 4K we can use, including Payton. Oh, 5, because Davion.
Right, Davion.
Not that I don't even know if they would necessarily even like. We've been bit by this before, the Davion thing, where they could realistically probably just use Malik Monk as like a de facto point guard. And Malik Monk's been awesome lately. And honestly, they just need someone to get it up the floor because they're going to run the offense through Sabonis anyway. So, But it is worth mentioning Davion 3K, right? There's just a lot of value today at point guard, and Davion's in that player pool.
Another good game from Anthony Edwards who, against Golden State, 27, 6, 5, 1, and 2. He's got Orlando here. $9,900, but like we talked about, there's not a ton of like surefire spend ups. So I think Edwards at home against Orlando could get there for me. JB under 9K. Finally.
Yeah, it's interesting.
It's been a bit.
Yeah. Yep.
Last time he was under 9K was December 10th. He was $8,800. So almost over a month.
This is a price I'm into for Jaylen Brown. That's a good price.
26 points on 7 3-pointers against Brooklyn there. So let's see. Other mid-tier guys. I mean, I'll keep talking Bradley Beal. 44 fantasy points last time out.
Yeah.
$7,400. We wanted to play him against Detroit. That game got canceled, right? So
Yep, I forgot. I was thinking about it. Like, wait, didn't we talk about Bradley? Didn't he have another spot? But yeah, he was supposed to.
He was supposed to. Yeah. Simons went 10 of 18 shooting against Memphis. He'll be pretty popular here, especially if Grant's out as well.
Yep.
We talked about revenge for everybody else. Buddy Hield going up against Sacramento here as well. $6,500 for him. Let's see. Trent hit his 3-point prop. He was okay. 22, 3 steals, aiding Gary Trent production there.
Yep.
I'm trying to find something that's like really jumping out to me, but I just don't really see it, I guess.
Malik Monk probably the next for me.
Yeah, I mean, what's Hoarder's bump? Only 19 minutes for him there in that game too. Like
it's dude, Monk.
Yeah.
Direct correlation to Monk playing well.
But with Fox out now, does that bump?
I'll look it up. Like my assumption is they're going to start Davion, but starting Davion doesn't mean they close with Davion, right?
No, I don't think so.
So with De'Aaron Fox off the floor this year, Malik Monk is their leader in usage rate by a significant margin. He has a 30% usage rate. Next is Terrence Davis at 24. Hoarder is at 21.6. Monk gets a 4.5% bump. Hoarder gets a respectable 2.1% bump. Monk's at 1.07 fantasy points per minute. Hoarder at 0.89 with De'Aaron Fox off the floor. Sabonis clearly leads in that department. So we'll see. I'm not against Kevin Hoarder.
Sure.
I think that's actually a pretty good pivot.
The last two games, the minutes have just been so like you said, Monk's just shooting the lights out. So
I bet you the first run of ownership percentage we see tomorrow suggests Malik Monk is going to be a very
Fox played 38 minutes in that game, so there wasn't like an opportunity for that rotation to sort of see what it was like without Fox.
Right.
So
right. Yeah, I mean, Davion's still playing all the backup. Like, that has been a direct split. Like, they played 48 minutes, right? Fox played the 38, like you said, and Mitchell played 10. So what is their backup scenario? Is it Dellavedova? Are they going to split the minutes? Like, 30 and 18 or 28 and 20? Like, how's that? It's all unanswered. I feel like between Keegan Murray, Malik Monk, Kevin Hoarder, like two of those guys always play, one of them gets
Sure.
axed.
Okay. Let's see here. Beasley, we talked about the other day. He came through.
Yeah, he had a big first half. He scored 14, all 14 in the first half.
Yeah.
Didn't score again in the second half.
Under 4K, under 5K rather for him there though.
Yeah, we know for tournaments.
We always talk up Diallo. Again, we didn't get to play him the other day, but he's still $4,400 here.
He was ruled out too, wasn't he? I think he was ruled out originally, and then the game just got canceled.
He was probable.
Oh, okay.
He was ruled out for Monday's game, but he was probable for Wednesday. So you got him at 44. Sexton's at 43. What are you doing, Knicks?
I feel like we don't need to play him.
I agree. I don't want to.
Because there's all the Spurs guys.
Yep.
Like,
I agree. I just wanted to get your take on him. So.
Branham took 13 shots last game. I don't even know if Knicks has taken 13 shots all year long. Yeah. So.
Yep. All right. Small forward. Tatum here went for 57 in just 29 minutes. So again, he has that ceiling, but like if he goes for that, it's because Boston wins by 40 again. So
right.
I don't know if I want to pay the 11 for JT here.
He's on a really good stretch though for fantasy. Like,
oh yeah, almost another double.
Yep. I do like the Brown price better though. Like if I'm going one of the two, I probably would play Jaylen Brown, but like can't really fault you for getting to a likely low on Tatum because nobody ever plays Tatum at that price.
Yeah, all right. Laurie at 84.
Yep.
All right, 51 fantasy points for him, another double. Again, another guy that like doesn't give you anything else, but 1 assist, 1 block, 1 steal got you 50 fantasy points. I always talk about Scotty Barnes. You mentioned Houston's gonna be super popular here. Another 40 fantasy points for Scotty Barnes. So can do.
Can Keldon keep it close, John?
Can Keldon keep it close? I don't know. He's been good the last 3 games.
He has been
for fantasy purposes.
For fantasy purposes, yeah. I would take a dart on Keldon in tournaments. Like if they keep that game close, if that game stays close, like that game wins like every tournament because you're using Spurs value. You would have like Embiid or Harden, right? Like you could play so many pieces of that game. Bancaro.
Yeah, I really like Bancaro here. Just missed every 3-pointer he took, but still had 32 fantasy points.
Again, it's just so hard to play Orlando. It's just they're all like Franz should probably be higher priced. And
I never play him, and we talk about this every slate. Like he has the most secure minutes, it feels like, of the whole group, and like you just never
can't get to him.
Just don't get there.
Sadiq Bey is fine.
Yeah, another guy that was in our lineups, and then that game got canceled. So
Kyle Anderson, I think with Gobert out makes a lot of sense. 12 rebounds without Gobert last game. I know it was the Naz Reid performance of his life, but and then the Houston guys. I mean, back to Martin, back to Gordon we go.
Yep. And then Denny was someone that we were in on here.
Dude, Denny is just on a different atmosphere right now.
Yep. And we'll be dealing with a backup front court for Portland potentially too. So 5K for Denny, really great spot. Probably flip side, Josh Hart there at 52.
I think he's still banged up.
Okay.
He did not. He played 32 minutes and had 2 assists and 2 rebounds. That's all he did.
Okay. Hunter's at 49. We generally don't mind playing that one there. Let's see. If it is a back-to-back, they don't play Hayward. We have Jalen McDaniels at 47. That's chalk, I think.
Well, no, because the chalk is everybody and their mother going back to Aaron Nesmith tonight after what he did tonight.
Okay. I think so. 36?
Yep.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yep. He had he was actually pretty highly owned tonight. And then he goes for 24, 3, 2, 2, and a block. So he had 40 fantasy points. at like 20% ownership.
If you're a Pacers
so,
fan, are you upset with the Malcolm Brogdon trade at this point?
No, no,
Right?
no.
Aaron
But I
Nesmith
think
has turned into an okay little player, at least for now.
yeah, he sure has. He sure has. I do think we're gonna see him garner a ton of interest. And
the reason the Celtics drafted Aaron Nesmith because he was considered the best pure shooter in that draft. So
5 for 8 from 3 today.
He just needed one. He was not getting any rotational minutes on that Celtics team, so he was never able to develop.
The Peyton Pritchard conversation that he just had, right?
Yeah,
Wasn't that just the conversation that came out from Pritchard?
Fast PP could be dealt by the All-Star break for, Naz Reid, right?
Right.
Backup big for the Celtics, so could certainly happen there. All right, other guys down here at small forward, any value for you?
Nah, I think it's Nesmith or bust. I guess like if Grant were to sit, would they start Nasir Little? Maybe, but they started. Who did they start in the second? They started. Who did they start in the second half of that game? I'm gonna look that up. They started like
popcorn machine it.
Jabari Walker, was it? Watford played 22 minutes off the bench, and Peyton played 29, as you mentioned. So, if Nasir Little started,
Watford. I mean, I guess I don't know. These are blowouts, but 26 and 22 minutes is his last two stints, but 128 and 2-1. So,
Portland last game, second half started Jabari Walker, didn't play another minute. Played 6 minutes, didn't check back into the game. Who came in for him? Nasir Little was his direct. Gary Payton played the final 20 minutes of the game. Didn't come off the floor once.
I know we're not at center position, but I just clicked over because of I don't know. I typed in Walker, and it gave me Walker Kessler. 17-14 with 7 blocks in that game against Toronto, by the way. So
quite good. It's quite good.
12 blocks the last 2 games, doubles in both.
Stop skipping ahead. Stop spoiling.
We're big fans of him. He's got a tough matchup. Anyways, all right, power forward then. Zingers under $9K, $8,900 here. Against, you mentioned Watford, Eubanks, right? Like that feels like a smash.
Yep.
I mean, great. He had 5 blocks and 3 steals against San Antonio. Oh, I played. I forgot. I keep on forgetting they had their last game canceled. I played Porzingis in this game. Remember, you said it was a good leverage play against San Antonio. I keep on forgetting that I.
Yep.
Because they should have played another game in between, but it got canceled. Zinger at 89. I'm in. I talked about Marketing, Barnes, Moncairo.
Talked about this whole team.
Toby, if there's no Embiid against San Antonio.
Yep.
Tyree Eason up to $5,800, deservingly so.
Dude, he played 19 minutes.
He had 21 shots.
I mean,
dude, he's a maniac. He's an absolute maniac.
9 of those shots were on one possession where he missed.
Yeah, I tweeted that out.
8 of that.
I tweeted out. He had 4 rebounds on one possession, 3 shot attempts. He had a steal. He had a steal, missed shot, offensive rebound, tip, offensive rebound, tip, offensive rebound, bucket, and the foul. He just, oh man, it was crazy.
And Jabari Smith is questionable, so dude, Smith doesn't play. Easton's a core. He's just a core play.
So many wings on Houston, man. So many wings.
He's a core play if he's in the start.
Yeah, 5,800 though, and it's a tough spot against Toronto, but maybe it doesn't matter. I don't know.
I mean, 3 straight double-doubles.
He's not a highly touted. He wasn't a first-round pick or anything. He was a second-rounder, but
guy's a freak.
I was talking about him. He ate apart the summer league. The guy ate apart the summer league, right? All right, enough for Tari Eason. But KJ Martin's at 57. Jabari as we mentioned, is questionable there. Harry B at 53, but Keegan Murray below him as well. I know we're both in there, but tough day for Keegan. 0 for 8.
I played him.
Yeah, I played Sohan, so he left that game.
Oh yeah, high five.
Yeah, high five. Yeah, he left that game with an injury in 10 minutes. So 6 minutes. I gave him too much credit. 0 for 4, 7 minutes back injury. Let's see here. We talked about Denny already. Probably going to be very much in our lineups. Nas,
Yep.
Reed if there's no Gobert again at 48.
Easiest play of this. Like, it'll just be the easiest play of the slate.
I mean, Bates Diop's going to start again, right? At 4,400.
Yep.
A lot
Love
of people
that.
will get to that.
Yep. I think so.
You keep talking about Boucher. He played another 20 minutes. You
Keeps
said
being
something happened
productive.
to Precious there, right? In that game?
Foul
trouble? Something happened with Precious in that game?
The Utah game, in what, the Utah game?
Yeah, no.
Precious was in early foul trouble, but Boucher just playing 20 minutes just because he's playing 20 minutes.
Okay. Again, I guess one of the Portland guys, we'll know at least 7 o'clock. We'll know who's starting for Portland. So
that's good. I didn't I don't even know why I didn't realize that, but that's awesome.
Yeah. So one of those two will.
My whole lineup might just be.
We
7.
know that Eubanks is going to start. But it's like if Grant is out, who plays power forward? So.
My whole lineup might just be 7 p.m. guys. I don't know. I don't know. Just like looking at it, like these games are really appealing. These 7 o'clock games.
Sure. All right, center position here then. JoJo's at 11-3 San Antonio. That game is not a 7 o'clock game. That game is 8 o'clock. Our late night hammer is 9 p.m. by the way. So
love that.
Early Friday night for everybody here.
Love that.
But still, again, Embiid went for 48 fantasy points there against Orlando. Not his best performance. So
I would definitely play him against San Antonio.
Do you think he's hobbled at all? I mean, all these questionables. I mean,
I 100% think he is. Dude,
I guess it doesn't matter. It's San Antonio.
It's not a coincidence that all these, like, yes, I think that teams list guys that are probably like okay to play, but like it's a grueling season, you know? So I do think he's hobbled. I also think not a lot of people are going to get there when they just can place Sabonis for $1,100 cheaper.
Yeah. Yep.
And Siakam against, Houston. And then conversely, even in Şengün's.
We talked about Siakam against Utah. We're like, listen, this could be a good, contrarian spot to get him in your lineup. He hasn't been paying off the price tag. 21, 10, and 5. He fouled out. He played 39 minutes still, but 9 of 22 shooting. Not great shooting wise, but
he didn't make a shot in the first quarter. So like even the fact that he got to where he did is a miracle.
Yeah. I mean the price keeps coming down. It's $9,100 for him. So maybe one day they'll give us power forward eligibility. That's really cool. Let's see here. Turner against Sacramento on the flip side of that game.
Just got to worry about the back-to-backs on Mad Scientist Rick Carlisle.
That's fair. I don't think I'd play Eaton against Boston. I think I'd probably fade that one. Plumlee, though, Plum Dog against Detroit, I'd play that.
Yes, agreed. What did Plum Dog have? Oh, just another 16-11, 5 assists and a steal tonight. Oh, okay.
Yep. Let's see. Chu is up to $6,100. Still probably.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Probably good. It's probably good. It just definitely makes you think a little bit. He'll be lower owned than normal.
Yeah.
I'll say that. He's been super popular every slate.
What's interesting about Walker Kessler in this matchup is that Capella isn't someone that's going to really challenge him on the offensive side of the game. So
yeah. So will he block as many shots? I mean, anyone that comes near Walker Kessler, he's been a vacuum for blocks.
Yeah. I mean, those are elite block numbers.
Yeah, he's a tournament play only because we just don't know he plays 18 minutes. He could play 30 minutes. Mm-hmm. He could get in foul trouble.
Right.
Or he can have 17, 14, 7 blocks. Right.
He had 6 blocks. What did I text you? He had 5 blocks in 8 minutes or something like that.
His first shift. Yeah, he had the 5 blocks in his first shift.
Wild. Robert Williams, they took the minutes cap off of him, but he only had to play 19 against Brooklyn. Still had 29 fantasy points though.
Yeah, good to see good to see like 3 straight pretty good performances out of Rob Will.
Yeah. Rounding into form, loved the 36 minutes against New York, 31 against Miami. So no minutes cap. Looked good in 19 minutes because that's all they needed him for Brooklyn here. I'm willing to play Rob Williams at this point now. So until he's up to like 65, I guess, like maybe.
I feel like that's steep for me.
Steep, yeah.
For me personally, 6K? I think 6K is like my.
Okay.
all right, he's appropriately priced there.
Sure.
I think the same could be said. It's really hard to play Jakob Poeltl, but if you think that he's not going to be limited in games, like he goes off.
Yeah. Minutes are been weird for Jalen Duran lately. Hasn't topped 30 in any of the last 3, but he did have 19 rebounds against Charlotte in their most recent meeting in that game. He was just 2 of 8 shooting, 7 points, 19 boards, 3 blocks. Centers against Charlotte are always the thing for us here. Duran should start once again.
Yeah.
So it's going to be hard to play if Reed starts again. You're going to have Gafford against Portland here as well.
I just don't understand what they like. It's just another team, Detroit, that just since Duran and Killian Hayes come back, and now their rotation's just messed up.
Stewart's playing.
Or Stewart comes back
off the bench, right? So they're not really.
Dude, Stewart had started every game for the first 2 years of his career.
Yeah, and now he's off the bench.
Is off the bench for what? What is I don't know what to make of it. We could have more. Zach Collins in a blowout scenario.
Eubanks is going to start at $3,800.
Eubanks is going to start at 38. Montrez will start if there's no Embiid. Mm-hmm. We know the situation with him and Paul Reed, right? Figure that one out. Of course, nobody plays Mark Williams tonight, John. Did you see the Mark Williams game tonight in 17 minutes? Mark Williams, 13, 7, 3 blocks and a steal.
You did that 2 nights ago.
Yeah, he was 1% owned on Thursday slate. So, there's a lot of really good center value tonight.
All right. Well, in that case, we'll build a lineup. I'm assuming we're just plugging Sabonis in, though. It's a 10-1. And we'll double center up with a value play, maybe Eubanks.
Yeah, I'm not fully sold on Eubanks, the fantasy producer. He hasn't been that good this year. He is going to start, and
if there's no Grant too, though,
yeah, he was good last game, and that was directly correlated, Grant and Nurkic both being out. So I'm fine with it. Ultimately. Okay. I hate that Eubanks. I hate that both those guys don't have roster flexibility, and we're just locking our util in at 7.
Yeah,
that's the only thing. But you're right. Sabonis is probably the best spend up, and Eubanks is a good value.
I threw Van Vliet in at point guard.
We gotta hit one at 1 or 2 or 3 of those cheap guard value plays.
I had Richardson,
Branham, Gary Payton.
Yeah, we can do Payton.
Davion.
Oh yeah, Monk, right? Monk.
Yeah,
Monk's 48.
Yeah, Monk's good.
Richardson, I think, is small forward eligible.
No, he's point guard, shooting guard.
Okay. All right, so Van Vliet, Monk, Sabonis, Richardson, Eubanks is $6K a player. We have 3 forwards: small forward, power forward, and forward. So $6K forwards.
Denny or Gordon?
Yeah, Denny for sure. I like Denny a lot here. Or did you want to? Can we spend up for Porzingis here? What's Zinger give us here? Zinger gives us 47 for a small forward and a forward. I got another value.
Neesmith.
Diop maybe.
Neesmith,
yeah, okay. Neesmith at 36, perfect. $5,700 forward.
KJ Martin.
Works. I have no arguments there. KJ
or
Martin.
Kyle Anderson if Gobert's ruled out. But that's if Gobert's ruled out.
Double up with Porzingis. You could double up Porzingis and Denny.
Yeah, I thought that's what we were already doing.
Okay, then yeah, Porzingis and Denny there. That works. That gives us $700 left over. I don't know if we wanted to adjust anywhere, but as of now, we got Van Vliet, Monk, Neesmith, Porzingis, Sabonis, Richardson, Denny, and Eubanks. $700 left over. You're not sold on Eubanks, you said, right? So, 45.
I'm fine on Eubanks.
$4,500 util could be Bates, Diop. That's kind of about it. Zach Collins.
Yeah, Eubanks is fine.
Montrez, if there's no.
We don't need to spend it. It's not necessary to spend
Okay.
every dollar.
If there's no Embiid, would you play Montrezl or Eubanks?
Oh, Harrell, easily.
Okay. Just checking. All right, well, that's what we got then. We got Van Vliet, Monk, Neesmith, Porzingis, Sabonis, Richardson, Denny, and Eubanks, $700 left over. James will be on your playbook here for Friday. If you have any questions, we are always in the Discord. Good luck, and we'll catch you guys later.